My name is Alison Mah. I'm the assistant city editor at the Ottawa Citizen and Sun. The Morgan Taylor Clinic on Bank Street is Ottawa's only publicly funded abortion clinic. And for years they had been complaining that protesters were harassing, intimidating them, carrying big signs saying like, abortion is murder, you're killing babies, kind of stuff. And they would constantly phone police and tell them to come to the clinic, and police would try and enforce what they could, but in some ways they said their hands were legally tied because there was the issue of freedom of speech. The weird part about that story was that there's a city bylaw. It's a special events bylaw that says people are allowed to protest, over 150 people are allowed to protest, but on the other side of the street. But if it's just one person, that one person sort of falls into a gray zone. The city said, we can't really do much. If we were to enact a bylaw, it would be challenged under the charter within 2 minutes. So eventually, I talked to a couple lawyers who actually said, if you were to craft some sort of bylaw or some sort of legislation that was like a bubble zone, it actually would pass constitutional muster because of precedents in BC, in Alberta, out east, in Quebec. Like, this has been done before. We published that story on A1, and the next day, Catherine McKinney, the counselor for that ward that includes the Morgan Taylor Clinic, and Jim Watson wrote a memo to the city clerk and solicitor, and it made its way eventually to Yasser Naqvi, Attorney General of the province, and I would say a couple months later he announced an abortion bubble zone law that created automatic 50-meter bubble zones, like boundaries essentially, around places where abortions are done. My full-time job really is editing, assigning, all that kind of stuff. I don't get to report as often, which I don't mind because I love editing, but with this story, it was like one of the first times at the Citizen and Sun that I've actually been able to help move things along and get action on a story that I think, as a woman, really matters to me in terms of a woman's right to a safe abortion is incredibly important. To get spit on is outrageous to me, so it will stick with me because of that.